Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Tech Tinktronics channel, where today we're going to tinker and learn. Today, a few weeks ago, I purchased a gaming PC from Walmart, and it's HP. This is a great value in and of itself. All told, you could purchase the gaming PC from Walmart, but you'll get just enough to turn it on. What I had to do is I had to upgrade the hard drive in order to be able to make it even come close to being used as my daily driver. But everything else right off the shelf is pretty good. And we're going to take a look at that right now. I'm going to start with one of my favorite ones. We could start with CPU ID. And this is an AMD Ryzen 5 3500. It core speed is like, it's up there. Like, I'm pretty impressed with it, and there's better. Granted, I could have built a better PC and maybe saved, but the time is not right to be building a PC right now, in my opinion, because some of the parts that you may want may be harder to come by. So with that, there's another program that I want. Let's see, I'll just tell you what we have. We have the AMD Ryzen 5 3500. Core speeds, it gets up to 4,000 megahertz, somewhere around there. And you can see all the stats for yourself. I'm not going to bore you with that. Yeah, several caches. The manufacturer is HP, and I do like HP. I have an HP laptop. It keeps on ticking, even though it's took a beating. The memory, I have 8 gigabytes of DDR4. We're using single channel. Let's see. So I have an additional slot for RAM. Let's see what we have. 8 gigabytes. So like I said, this is what came off the shelf. The graphics card they give you is the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1650 Super, and it's a pretty nice card. I have no issues with it. I have it pretty. I have a, I have it clocked with. I have it overclocked a little bit with MSI Afterburner, which is pretty cool. I don't mess around with too much overclocking. I had a friend help me out on it. I don't really fully understand overclocking enough. I haven't done it enough to really, know that aspect of the PC game. But just with a little bit of help, I was able to get it run or get it to run. I'm gonna run performance test by Passmart. Hopefully, this goes well with the. This is what we have. I want to add a stick of RAM. You can click on these pieces and it tells you everything about them. My NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1650 Super, 4 gigs of memory. So that's not a bad deal that you get with this PC. This is what I put in as far as a hard drive, solid state. Main board is HP8643 SMBB, and the vendor is AMI. Interesting. What else do we want to know? We can know about the processor. But without further ado, I'll just run the benchmark and see what we have. So it's going to go through all these individual little tests for every bit of the system. I like this test because of that. It gives you a good ranking among the world in terms of where your PC stands, and it takes all things into consideration and leaves no stone unturned. And I will just let this process continue for us. This is the graphics portions of the test. I find it quite entertaining. And this goes really fast. That's amazing. I've performed this test on slower computers on my channel. Quite laughable. They kind of tick by frame. It's weird. I actually had no fun testing those. This is fun. Have this going at 177 frames a second. Nice. Now we're just kind of doing all the memory tests. Database operations, memory read, cache, test complete, memory read, uncache, memory write, test running. We're going to look at available RAM, memory latency, and memory threaded. Okay, now we're on the disk test, which is going to include disk sequential read, disk sequential write, IOPS 32KQD20, IOPS 4KQD1. Then after the disk tests are done, pretty much conclude this part of the disk pass mark, and we get our pass mark rating compared to the world, that sort of thing. Okay, so this time I ranked 52, 57.3 in the 68th percentile. So that puts me here in the mud category, as you can see. But I mean, it does what I need it to do. But for what's out there today, there's generally better. And here we are doing some Valley benchmark. Let's give it the good old benchmark. It looks like whatever this is won't give it any justice. But what I could do is I could start 9, started, and I'll do the benchmark. Pretty neat stuff. So our minimum frames per second are 52.3, our max frames per second are 173.2, which tells me, I mean, for what you get at the Walmart, you'll get just enough to turn it on. It'll be a pretty good PC, pretty for the average user. If you want something more special, then you may want to build it yourself. If you're me, you'll end up in a position where you'll have to, you know, buy a computer off the shelf because of the parts situation being very difficult to get, and then being in a pressed for time and wanting to get a PC. Just if you want to get something up and running like I do, you would buy the Walmart PC. So that's pretty cool. So we have several more scenes to go through for this benchmarking. It's amazing. So we're getting a max frames per second of 189.3 with a minimum of 41.8. And you can see like all the graphics and the memory and the temperature. It's amazing. So I mean, like it's pretty solid. Like the only time like I had a crash is when I'm using like Adobe to edit my videos. But that's an Adobe issue. But this is where we stand. This is a unique. This is a Uni Engine Valley Benchmark 1.0. frames per second, went on 4.7. Got a score of 4380. I'm not sure what that means, but maybe you guys could comment. Maybe you could bench test your own rigs and tell me what you think. With that, recording save. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. I'm gonna play a little bit of 5M Grand Theft Auto. I'm gonna have to do it as a voiceover because the audio got messed up. So you could play many like titles of the day on this computer, and you can play like titles like Fortnite. Grand Theft Auto is old, but you can play that. But you get an idea. Like this computer doesn't study free, and when I'm playing, I can play as long as I want and not have to worry about crashes or anything like that. And that comes to having like your system dialed in for the game, because if you're dialed in or if you're overclocked too much, it may cause crashes. So with my system, I did a modest overclocking. So this is really the only game that I play. And in this PC, I mean, I paid about $630 some, including the taxes, and then I had to shell out an additional 100 some odd change for an upgraded hard drive. And that's the one drawback, is like when you get this system off the shelf, they might give you a small hard drive, and then you have to upgrade it to be able to do more with it, because you'll run out of space real quick. So yeah, those people are mad. Ooh, got him. Definitely not the greatest at playing this game, but I have fun. And that's all that matters. Ouch. So the thing is, you could buy PC off the shelf. Here are the few drawbacks. Like the case may be small, the cooling may not be as cool as expected, but it'll get you up and running with some respectable specs, and that's what counts. Well, hey, if you like the video, if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe and share the video and leave a comment and tell me what you think. Thanks for watching. Have a great one.